G'day, how you going? This is Ian Harris from Australia here, and welcome to my video today. Now today, I'm not painting today. A good friend of mine, the Angry Artist, will be painting today. So let's bring him over. Come on over here, Ken. How you been?
Good, mate. How's everybody out there? Yeah, I'm back. I've been travelling. I met a guy out in the outback. His name's Greeny. He asked me to paint Wolf Creek. So with the help of my good mate Ian, let's do it.
All right then, Ken. Well, what we'll do is we'll prep your canvas board and we'll get it prepped. And also, people also like to know what size canvas board we're using, so we better let them know what we're using as well.
Well, I could do that.
There you go. There's the size of the canvas board. What's it in centimetres, isn't it?
Yeah.
Centimetres. 30 centimetres by...
about 350.
Now, what we'll do, I will move out the way and you can stand here and show the people the colours we're using, all right?
All right. Colours we're going to use today. We'll show you on the screen and you can see all the nice colours that we're going to use. And there they go. Yeah, well, there you go. So now you know what we're going to use. So let's get into it. Right, this is what a bit of mist on the board. Otherwise, you know, it doesn't work. We've got our white blowing paint, a bit of retarder that just makes it work better and does all that, so we get a little bit of a puddle here of that. Yeah, that'll do. And we start mixing them together. All right, we're ready for the next step, but first I'm going to have a bloody beer. All right, folks, there we go. There you go. Beer time. Oh, Ian, come on, you have to get over here, mate. I can't do this bloody thing. I need a beer. Come on, you come and do it, will you, mate?
What's wrong with you, mate?
Just put the blue on.
You want me to put the
I'm
first
having
bit
a bloody bad time. Just come and put the blue on.
All right, relax,
All
mate.
right,
Relax.
I've got to have a beer.
All right, you have your beer. Hang on. I'll put this blue on. All right, have you got that retarded up? You have,
Yes. No.
All right. You have or you haven't? All right. Well, we've got the phthalo blue down here. Come down and have a look. And the clear medium retarder. So we'll get that into the brush there. Are you enjoying that beer over there, Ken?
Bloody gosh, I haven't had one.
All right.
Today. Look at the time. People will talk about me.
All right, so we want a bit of dark in the sky, so we'll leave that open and maybe some down the bottom. So this blue, we're sort of crisscrossing and stamping it on, but leaving enough in the sky to give our dark areas, which will be the corners and the bottom down. All right, so we've just whacked that on there like that. I'm helping the Angry Artist out here today because he gets a bit frustrated. There we go, look at that. Now we pick up a blending brush. I'm just using one of the real cheap ones that I bought, and I'm going to blend the strokes out of this. We can leave dark and lighter tones in there, okay? Wipe it on your paper towel as you're picking up paint. And we're just sort of getting a sky ready to have darker colours at the bottom. And all right. I'll tell you what, well, because Ken there, he's enjoying his beer, so we'll get him to put the paint on, and I'll give him a hand. That way he enjoys his beer a lot more. How's that sound, Ken?
Yeah, sounds good to me. Well, this is dioxazine purple. We're going to darken the sky with this, and have a look how I do this.
Do the other side too there, Ken.
Yeah.
Maybe pick up some more.
Yeah. You know, it's been a while since I painted, eh?
Now, are you going to blend that, or do you want me to blend it?
Oh, well, I tell you what, if you blend, I'll have a beer, all right?
Oh, you want to get back to your beer again?
And I'll have a beer. Well, it's been a long time since I painted, young fella, you know. So, and I'm keeping calm
All right,
so far.
All right, where's your beer? Get your beer out the way, and we'll get a blending brush, a dry one. All right, so we'll blend it. You want this the darker part of the sky?
Yeah, mate. Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll blend this now. So let's get this blend from the purple into the blue. Wipe your brush.
You see, I haven't done this for a long, long time.
Wipe that. They're starting to dry, this paint, so we've got to work a bit faster here. Now I've blended that. Now we'll merge that a bit more across that. There we go. And we can come back later if we want and add more darker bits into the sky. Okay, we'll get this side done. It's starting to dry on us, people, so we've got to work a bit faster. Alright, now watch what happens when we just darken that up a bit more. Do one side at a time, wipe the brush. There we go, we're bringing some darkers in there. Later on, you can even probably put some Payne's grey or black in there, but see, that's just purple blue. We want to get that dark. Really, there we go. Ken, how's your beer going, Ken?
Good, oh, it's not bad, yeah, it's pretty good. You, like I said, it's been 2 years since I've touched the brush, mate.
Alright, well, I'll give you a hand here. I mean, you're supposed to be doing this yourself, but
Oh, well.
you and your beer.
Well, you gotta have a beer, man wasn't camel. Yeah, and I like this darker down here, mate, because I've got to have a beer. This is just, I'm doing my head.
Well,
Don't
you
give
can't
me a
do it
hand.
now, or you'd rather drink
No,
a beer.
no,
What's going on?
I'd rather have a beer while you and I'm watching. Because the 2 years, mate.
This is your painting, mate.
I know, but it's 2 years since
I
I've
think
painted.
the economy with that beer
No,
excuse.
it's good for you.
So you want this a bit darker?
Mate, they wouldn't advertise this on TV if it wasn't good for you.
Alright, so, we're roughly middle all along, or middle or what?
Oh, just right along this whole thing, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, right.
I'm just going to do it my way, and you just tell
Yeah,
me if
well,
it's...
that's what I wanted. Just, yeah.
Alright, golly.
Yeah.
Well, you enjoy your beer there, mate. You enjoy that. I'll get that up into the blue sky there. Oh, yeah, we're sort of... I know what you're going for. Yeah, you want that sort of the horizon, because it's not night time, but it is.
Yeah.
You want that sort of effect. Is that what you're going for?
Yeah.
All right, I'll just get this up there, best way I can. You and your beer, you're drinking that beer can. It's allowing you paint it. You got to do that later, not.
No, I've got to paint early in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I don't drink before 8 o'clock.
How's that? Can the people see that? I reckon it wouldn't hurt if you put a bit of blue back in there, Ken, just to marry those two together. Do we need this brush or another one? Yeah, that'll do. That's working. Do you want any mist in this sky or just the clouds?
I don't want. Oh no, just that. That's it. Yeah. Just a bit of a moon.
Is that getting to what you were after?
That's getting better. Yeah, well, Ian, I need this darker, so come over and do it. Just don't muck me round.
What do you?
All right, I just want a beer. Come on.
Yeah, but what do you want?
You
want that a bit darker than what it is?
Just a bit darker down there.
Have you got some black? Did you put some
Well,
black
yeah,
on?
some black here. Just use that one there. All right.
All right. So, and you got retarder in there?
Yeah, I've got everything you need. Just use it.
So just a little bit of black.
Yeah.
All right, just.
Yeah.
All right, just a little bit like that.
Yeah, maybe I have taught you properly.
All right, I'll blend that. Let's see if you. Oh, your retarder's hanging through. It's on it today. It's maybe a little bit more. All right, we're getting that really dark there. Here we go.
Oh, come on.
Why don't we get the people in a bit closer so they can see what we're doing?
All right. Now you're getting there.
All right, so we'll get that.
I can hear you.
So you're transitioning the purple to the black to the purple to the blue. Because I even told people at home with some of the blending you might have to redo bits to keep it going. It's a good thing we've got a few blending brushes here. So we're bringing that back into the black up there. So it looks more, the transition is more achievable or more bearable, I suppose to say, to look at in a painting.
Have you been to school since I've seen you last? All these fancy words.
I know, the more I self-educate myself on the internet with other YouTubers. Now, you're going to put some clouds in here, Mr.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, I think you should.
Yeah, well, yeah, long as, yeah, a couple of clouds. Yeah, why not? Right, we're going to use good quality white now, and we're going to whack a few clouds on, all right? So follow me along, here we go. Oh, oops. There, come and fix it, I'm having a beer.
What's
That's
wrong?
not-
What's wrong?
Oh, I don't know.
What?
I don't
Your
know.
beer not cold enough?
No, beer's all right, just me. Don't worry.
What's the matter?
Oh, just
You want me
fix it up for me.
Are you doing all right? I thought you were going to put some. You want me to put the clouds in for you? Is that what you're saying?
Look.
Oh, how do we do a cloud? Oh, I don't know. We'll probably put something there. Just tell, how do you want the shape? Like that?
Yeah, that'll
What a
work.
great cloud, eh? You like that? You
Yeah,
had
I
enough
do.
beers to make you think it's good enough?
Yeah, well, not
All right, let's get
couple
the
more will be
people
all right.
in, huh?
Couple more will be all right.
All right, we'll get the people in and they can watch how we blend this, all right?
All right.
Okay, Ken, well, we've got our cloud in there and we're going to... So you can put any shape of a cloud on there. It looks pretty toyish and amateurish, but that's how this retarder and everything works. You pick up your blending brush and we're going to blend... Look at that. Just a little bit of a... From halfway down, you're blending on and off, picking up different shadows and tones within that cloud's body. And we're blending it across the sky. We're blending it out. They're sort of night clouds, so they're not going to be very bright. And then we're going to round those tops up a bit more because they're night clouds, all right? So we've got that on there. So we'll get a bit more up there. Maybe you want your moon over there, do you?
Yeah, mate,
right,
yeah.
so we'll put some cloud. We're putting it on. So we'll have our moon about there. So we'll leave enough room for that. Okay. And always wipe your brush when you're blending and blend these into nighttime clouds because we're getting that shadow tone in them and we can come back and brighten the tops of them up. Okay, give it a bottom. Let's try something here in front. Whoa, look at that paint. Let's try something here in front of that and that'll be coming down here. The blending is what pushes it into this night sky. So let's blend that. Okay, looking good, looking good. So Ken, did you want to come over for a beer today or you wanted to paint today? Come on, talk to me.
Oh, I wanted to paint, but...
Oh, you wanted to paint, all right, all right.
Yeah.
You wanted to paint, all right. I'm sure you want some, see we've done our clouds there. Let's put some highlights. The moon's going to be here, so we're highlighting roughly this side of all the clouds with the good old pure white. See what it's doing? It's just putting bits in there. Okay. You could probably put something in the horizon, but this will fade right down into that darker sky. They're dark clouds, but they're there. They're down in the horizon. There we go.
Ooh, that's not too bad. What we're going to do now is I'm going to dry it off, and because I like to put a moon in here, a nice moon that looks good. All right.
What sort of moon do you want? Small, medium, or large?
Just a medium moon. I don't want to go overboard, you know. It might be an outback, and there will be.
All right. Well, why don't you dry that for everybody?
Well, I've put my template on like Ian showed me because it's been a long time since I've done all this, but I've got my paint, but I think I'll get Ian to help me do this because I don't want to muck it up. He's, you know,
Well, what
it's
about
all
your
new.
beer?
Yeah, I don't care about the beer anymore. I have another 3 in a minute, but I want it done right. This is, you know, it's been too long. So, come on, Ian. What I want Ian to do is put it on because it's been too long.
All right. You want me to do the moon then, do you?
Yeah, all right, mate.
What are you going to do?
What do you think I'm going to do?
Huh?
I'm not going to go outside and play with the frogs. I'm going to drink beer.
All right. Well, all right. As Ken wants the moon, we've got to wet our household sponge, which we've got. You've seen me do this quite a lot in videos, okay? You've dampened that so it's going to pick up the paint. Now you want a full moon or a whatever moon?
Oh, yeah, bit of shadow.
Now this doesn't have retarder in it. I'll give the paint a bit of a moist. All right. So we're going to pick up the paint and virtually prime. You're virtually priming the surface for the moon because we're going to put the white, then the grey and highlight it. All right. But get in here. Okay. You might not see that on film there, but it's there. So there's our. We'll dampen this on. We've got our white, prime it on. If it picks up a bit of blobs and glugs, because it's a moon, it doesn't matter. All right? Now down here, we have our grey, so I'll turn the sponge around. All right? And we'll pick up the grey now. Spread it onto your sponge. And we're going to greyen up that moon. Now try and think like a moon and how you like your moon to look. Okay, I want it a bit more darker down here. All right, now I'm not just pushing this onto the sponge. See, I'm deliberately letting it stipple as well, because if it creates some texture up on the moon, that's great. So like I said, we'll hold this and a bit more darker. Oh, see, so we've virtually, the first bit of grey is mixed with the white, which made it a mid-tone. Now we're putting some darker over that, and it's, see? Now if you want, and if you're scared, you can dry that. So when you highlight it with the white, down here we've got the other side of the sponge, we're picking up the white again, and it can be chunky and stipply, look at that, but we're not doing that big of a moon, so let's tone that down a bit. All right, and we want this side of the moon highlighted. All right, I think I'm looking, I want to burn that grey back into it again. Play with it, there's no rush, there's no time limit for this. All right, and then highlight it again. And the good thing about it is when we pull the stencil off, we can detail that even more. So we'll pull this off for Ken. There's a moon high in the sky. All right, so I've just got to wash this, all right?
All right, we'll leave it alone. What you want to do now is sink it back. Put a cloud in front of it, all right?
All right, so we'll just sink it back with some sky cloud in front of it.
Oh, nearly drank that.
You don't want to drink that.
No.
Well, you finish the beer?
Yeah. All right, mate. Yeah, I'll get another one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. All right, well, but I'll have to wash. The thing with sponges, make sure you wash them straight away, because if you want a good sponge, you need a clean sponge. All right, so we'll sink that back. All right, we'll sink it back. We've got two colours here. We've got the dark dioxine purple and we've got some clouds. So we'll get a bit of that dioxine purple onto our brush, just very little, and wipe it off. Okay, wipe it off, wipe it off. And we're going to start from there and start just bringing that in front, like it's virtually like mist or something, but you're putting it behind the darker sky colours there, and probably a bit up there. A little bit more, you just need very little on your brush. Start in there and come over the moon. We've dried that moon, by the way. Alright. Coming over the moon, we're sinking it back with those dark colours, but it's shining through at the same time. Now we can bring some of the cloud colour in front of it, but let's clean that first. Now we'll get some of the white, load the brush up and get it off there, get it off there. Alright, and we've got some of this colour here. We'll see it's a bit white. I want to put a bit of blue with it to tone it down. I'm just grabbing some blue and mixing with it, so it's that colour, a bit darker. Because that was getting it too light. And we'll bring this in front. There we go. Sinking it back. Now we can get a little bit of the white mixed with that. Just to... There we go. Something like that. We've sat that moon down. Alright, we've finished our sky for you there, Ken. So, alright, so what are you going to do next? Horizon line, foreground?
Yeah, horizon line, foreground. And then I can start putting all the bits and pieces that I want to put in that need to go.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, so what, we'll tape it up? You want to put some tape on there?
Yeah, I think we should put some tape on there. We'll let it dry a bit and have a beer first.
Oh, you want a beer?
Oh, shit, yeah.
Oh, how about I have a coffee, you have a beer, and...
Sounds like a plan.
A plan?
Yep. Love it when a plan comes together, young'un.
Alright, alright. Then, I better not turn
Oh, it's down on me bloody toe. What are you?
Sorry.
Jeez, look how fat you are.
Can't. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of rippling muscle under
Yeah,
there.
I know. Yeah, you might have a six-pack, mate. I've got the keg.
Alright. Ken's slowly getting on with this paint, but I think he's having more beer than paint. But anyway, we'll get back into this. But while we have a short break, hang on, let's take it over to Steve, eh?
You want to?
Yeah, take it away, Steve.
Well, I've done the horizon line. No, I can't have a beer, mate. You can finish the bloody thing. I had enough. Finish it.
What's wrong?
No, just not me. Beer's hot, and I don't know. I just rather drink beer at the moment.
Oh, well, all right,
You
all right.
just do it.
All right, so what, this is where you want your horizon?
Yeah, mate. That's thanks.
All right.
Yeah, good on you. I know I've beer.
What do you got here? The colours that you want
Yeah,
to use?
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
well, we might as well show the people what colours
All
we're
right,
going
you
to
show
use.
them what to, you know.
Get down here.
Right, there's the colours I want you to use. It's raw umber, burnt sienna, sorry, raw umber, an Australian. Oh God,
Can you read that one?
no, his glasses are gone
Yeah,
up.
you got Australian sienna there.
No, Australian sienna.
Yeah,
all right.
and-
Now I want that for the lower horizon line. All right,
Raw umber, and
Yeah.
you want it for where?
for the lower horizon line, and you know, and I want you to blend it in and do what I remember what I told you in the beginning. What I wanted.
All right, then let's get
So
into that.
I'll leave
then,
it
eh?
to you, mate.
All right, Ken. Well, I've just given that a light mist. We'll get the raw umber first on both sides of this brush. I've got this nice stubborn haired one because it allows the brush to put the paint on in a most forceful way. Now we better put some water with that because I'm finding that a bit thick. All right, so we're getting that top half, the horizon line in. Now see what that water does? It allows it to spread. So let's get that all on. Watch what the water does, Ken. See how it's spreading now? So this is the bottom half of Wolf Creek where the crater's going to be, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, we've roughly got that on there, nice and easy, straight across the canvas like that. Now we're going to use some of the burnt sienna. That would be, let's get that, we'll just wipe that. We won't worry about washing it. And we're picking up the burnt sienna. We'll put it on and blend it through there like that. Sort of like you're doing water, but we're not doing water, we're doing sort of a dark, almost nighttime colour land surface. Now this is our lighter colour, so we'll wipe this again. Don't have to wash it. And we're going to put some of this on there. So we'll try about here. See, this is more of a, see it says on there, flow paint.
Yep.
See, it was real soft. And we'll blend that into there. And we'll get some at the foreground as well. There's our ground colour. Come in a bit closer, everyone. We'll get this horizon line a little bit more lighter using the Australian sienna because that's the lightest out of the three. And blend it across. Now we've lost a lot of the burnt sienna, so I'll put some of that back in the middle of it. Oh yeah, there we go. Get it in there. And we're just going to blend it across those colours. Alright, down here I've got some of the white. I'm just putting onto my fan brush. And the horizon line where the moon is, it's lightening up the ground. It's lighting up the ground, okay? I've just stamped it on. And then I'm going to wipe this brush that I had. And we're going to pull that across the ground as well. That'll do it. Now while that paint's wet, get this up, we've still got to put the, oh look at that, we've still got to put the crater in there and blend it in. Alright, we've blended that. Okay.
Right, that looks good, mate. But I want a crater there, right? Because Wolf Creek is famous for craters.
That's where the crater hit in Australia.
Yeah. So that's where I want it there.
Alright, so we'll quickly use these same colours
All
then.
right, go for it, mate. Thank you.
Alright. I've got a cold coffee here, I love it. I'll just have a...
Oh, I got it. Cold beer.
You like your beer, eh? All right, let me get this. Where's some brushes that we can use for? We'll use a little. I'll use a little filbert, and we'll try and get a crater. So come back over here, and we'll get some more colours on the palette. All right, down here I've added some more of the colours back here: the Australian sienna, the burnt sienna, and the raw umber. And we'll get back up here, and we'll. So he virtually wants a crater, so I'll scratch it in roughly the area I want it. Probably there. I've never done a crater before, so let's hope this works, Mr. Ken.
You'll be right.
I'm going to wipe that. So what I'll do is I'll pick up the darker of those three colours, which is the raw umber, and we'll get that on there. Picking up some more. Yeah, look at that darkness, isn't that nice? Now I'll put the darker there. I want to blend that, if I can, into the ground so you can't see where it's coming and going. Sort of like a cloud. Now grabbing the burnt sienna, the second lightest colour of the three. That's our dark bit, so this is going to create the light bit. Now the second colour, we want to keep... What do we got going here? I'm going to have to dry that because it's mudding up a bit. Now that's dry. We'll get this back in there so as it's going to go. We'll get that around. We'll have that about there. Okay, you can see that. See, this way I can try and I'll call it dry blending. I don't know what the proper artistic name is for it, but like dry blending to me, you've got your paint wet and then the paintbrush is getting dry and you're blending it back into these other colours here. Okay, we'll do the same over here. Get all this darker colour in because we want that nice and dark. We want the top line there reasonably sharp, Ken. You there, Ken?
Yeah, I'm watching. I'm just having a mouthful of beer then.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's all right. As long as you don't spill it on me, I don't care.
And we'll dry blend this down into there as well. And this is the background base dark tone of colour for our crater. We've pretty much got it dry blended down into this mid-tone colour there. Now I'm getting the smaller flathead chisel brush. I'm chiseling it onto the hairs of the brush there like that. Alright, so yeah, they're chiseled on. And then is that dry? I better dry that first again. Alright, now this is going to sort of create the hole in the crater, which is there. Okay, sort of there. Right, can you all see that?
Yeah, that's perfect.
There's our hole in the crater. Now in the hole in the crater, the crater has a ground, so we're going to create the ground in the crater with this colour as well. So I'm sort of coming there, up and down, making it sort of rough, sort of there. There's our ground. We'll just sort of colour that in like so. I'll have a look in the monitor just to see how that's looking.
No, leave it. It's good. I like it.
You like it? All right. Now we'll get some of this down there. Now we need some of this for this part of there. Now that's dark there. That's got to be dark there. So this is sort of going to come up and create that dark bit. And then up to there. So I've got my little brush that I had before just to blend all that or merge it. Just so that creates the lighter side of the outside of the hole. Wipe that. And then we've got to create the darker side of the inside of the hole. Now we'll get some of this again. Down here, the lighter bit, which is there. Get this brush again. I'm swapping brushes over and blending as I go. I've gone and blocked that there where it shouldn't be. Alright, getting there. That's dark. So this side can be all light coming from the thing here. Down there, because the band's changing colour around here. Alrighty. And then we'll put the third colour to highlight bits and pieces of this. Okay, we've got the two colours there. Now we'll use our flathead fan brush. We'll come down and pick up the Australian Sienna, and we'll use this one as the lighter colours in it. And we'll try and get some lighter values in here now. Picking up. And we can blend them into that colour there. And it's going to show us the surface floor of the crater. And this, we don't want too much. We want to kind of get this showing it's the lighter colour of the two. Into there like that. I'm just got very minimal on this brush because I'm using it to blend it out as well. How's that looking in the monitor? Reasonable, good enough for the painting, Ken. And down here we've got this lighter one, so we're going to create the edge of the crater there now with this, with that nice line. And then we'll put it on and blend it in so they're sort of burnt and teased together. See what's happening? And a little bit there and participating out to here. There we go. Now I've got my filbert brush that I cleaned, and I'm looking at some brush strokes there, and I'm sort of manipulating them in a way that'll suit the painting. Then, because see we've used that Australian Sienna to get some colours there, alright? You know what I mean, because I've just told you. Now we're going to use it on its own to create the highlight. So we're picking up the Australian Sienna on its own, and we want to create this ridge here of the crater where the different values of light and dark are. We're not doing a full line, we're just doing the line that's getting hit by moonlight. So we're playing around with it. Okay, now we've added a bit of white into that Australian Sienna, which is, the moonlight is virtually, if I can get up here, hitting the top crest of this crater. This is where we're trying to create the light and darks from the shadow. We could probably put a little bit, maybe over here as well. I'm just looking, and not all the way, just little bits along there, just as light as buggery. Look at that. How's that looking in the monitor? Yeah, just as light as anything. And obviously down the floor of the crater, there's up and down bits, but don't mind you, we're a long way away, so we'll just create some very small but highlights on the stuff inside the crater. Okay? Just minimal, don't overdo it. And if you think you've overdone it, you can just wipe your brush, because I think I have a little bit. I'll put some dark on it, I'm grabbing it back and I'm just pushing it through there so it's not so, yeah, see there, we've got some lighter values in there. Okay, we're getting the lighter colour of just Australian Sienna, and just this corner here where the moon's hitting it, we want to get that on, and just to about there, wrap that highlight around that lighter side of the crater hole there. Okay, so we've wrapped that around. Grab your brush you've been blending it with and lightly blend that into there. That's our highlight colour, and then we're just wiping the brush, and where we've mixed that with the white, we just want to just lightly come down here, kiss it with some beautiful highlight. That's it. Now here we're going to grab some of the raw umber, and we'll just sort of sneak that, because if anything this is the darker side, How's that looking? Yeah, we're getting there, we're getting there. This is the darkest side. Okay, now we're getting the raw sienna there, and we're just sort of bringing out this crater in the distance onto the ground there. I'm virtually putting it in that layout, grabbing me little blendable fill, but sort of merging them in there, just artistically making it look like we all know what we're doing, because we can highlight some of this as well just with the minimal. The ground's not flat out there, it's got hills and divots and ridges and gullies and valleys, you know, hips and valleys, and under and overs. Now see here, see there, Ken, can you see that?
Yeah, I can see
Right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick up some of the medium, or the lighter one for that, and our light's coming from here, so we'll sort of get some of it just like that, and blend it to a point there, to a point there. If you find a pattern within your mind that you're blending with, stick to it. Like, if anything, I do it and point it out. Like, oh golly, I've put that on there, and if anything, there's a tail there, blobs in the middle and a tail there, and then you're blending it out. But anyway, that's the way I think in my mind. Yeah, I'm looking in the monitor there. It's looking, where are we? Probably a bit of light source here coming down, because we're going to have the smallest foreground in front of this as well. We're just sort of bringing it out to the rest of the ground here, because the light, if anything's more this side, and we're painting something that's very big, so with rocks and trees will not be very detailed in something this big. There's our dark there, so we'll continue some more light here. And we're virtually getting our crater in. Now we'll just probably try and bit of lights hitting over here, so some lighter values here. Putting some lighter values in there as well. I've mixed the Australian sienna with that raw umber, the burn umber, just to give it some lighter values.
Low battery.
I mean, you can compare this to a photo of a meteor hit.
I like it.
Sorry, no, you can compare this to a photo of a meteor hit. It's not exact to the photo, but it's whoever looks at this painting, they're going to see a meteor. Would you say that's so, Ken?
I would say that definitely.
There you go, yeah. Now we can muck around with this crater here until the cows come home. That'll do. We'll put a bit of a foreground here, so like we're on a hill looking at this magnificent site. All right, well, like I said, we can keep going with that till the cows come home. So what sort of foreground are you looking for, Ken?
I want something coming like here, you know, and with a tree.
So just something in this corner, like we're up high looking down at this.
Yeah, so you look down on it.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. And just a tree or something.
Yeah, just a dead tree, you know. Doesn't it?
All right, well, we can use these colours and highlight it with the lighter one. So the best way to do that, well, you're holding that beer very tight, so obviously I'm doing it. I'm doing this as well, am I?
Of course. Of course.
All right. Well, we'll get some more paint on the palette there, and then we'll finish this foreground. All right, we'll just put the smallest foreground here using this raw umber. We'll get that across there. That's right across that corner there. We'll mix a bit of black with it as well, give it some darkness. So we're going to have our foreground roughly just here, housing a tree that's up high on a ledge looking down at this area here. All right. Now I don't want that line smooth, because we're going to just have the minutest grass here. So we've got that there. We're just going to sort of roughen it up so as this underlaying colour would suit our tree. All right. Just mixed up some simple black with that raw umber on my script liner, and we'll bring a tree, nothing too big and overkilling, and then that's the main trunk there, and we'll just sort of give this tree some kind of branch structure, and that's it. That's all we'll give it. Just something thick at the bottom, twist it and we want to bring some over and down. They're pointing towards the crater, if you know what I mean. We're going to make that bottom a bit fatter to make up for the... And if anything, we can bring the main one up a bit more, not too much. I've got to tell you people, I am not the best at trees, they do me head in. That one can go and point out to the crater as well, and we'll bring something onto this side. Alright, just something simple. All over the place. Alright, I've mixed up a lighter grey, nothing too light, and we'll just simply highlight one side of this tree. It's a small tree, but enough detail, but not too much detail, if you know what I mean. Alright, so there we go, we're highlighting all that side. We'll probably bring that in there. Highlight the one side, just minimal. Sometimes you can highlight them too much, which I know I've done, and then it's sort of, like I say, giving it that cartoony look. And another thing I like to do is the very end ones, just bring out with dead white stuff if you want to. Just something like that. Just finishing it off, we're picking up the hog bristle fan brush, because this here, this grass, we want, how's that colour going? Yeah, that's enough. Just enough to highlight it. Highlight some of this grass up here. Okay, and maybe in front of the tree there, sink the tree back a bit. I don't know, something like that. Alright, we finished that tree there, Ken. What we'll do is we'll show everybody at home what it looks like with a frame on there. Yeah. Alright, so let's get a frame on it and see how she looks. There you go, Ken.
I like it.
That's not too shabby.
No, that's...
Got a frame. Now we've got your Wolf Creek crater. We've got a bit of a tree in the foreground there from a cliff looking down. We've got the moon that you wanted in the sky. We've got the dark sky at the horizon and the moonlight hitting everything coming across. Alright.
Yeah, I'm happy with that, Ian. Greenie, you got no hope of getting this one, mate. This is mine, I'm going home to practice.
You want to keep that one for yourself?
Oh, I've got to keep this for myself. Right. Definitely.
Alright, well I hope you enjoyed this show, and well, it was mainly the angry artist here, Ken. He wanted to do something, but he preferred to have his beers more than getting involved with the painting.
Thanks.
Alright, so I hope you like what we've done here. If you like what we've done, you tell a friend, but if you haven't, you tell everybody, alright? All the best, goodbye, good luck, and good on ya!